Morning class. This is your teacher, Miss Lynn. I am so excited for today's lesson because today we are going to be learning about the water cycle. What do you think of when I say water cycle? Those are some great thoughts, you guys. The water cycle is like a big circle that doesn't start or end anywhere. It's how water moves all around the earth. The water cycle is how water in the river and on the ground goes up into the air and turns into clouds, then falls back to the ground again. Today we are going to look at each part of the cycle. The first thing that happens is evaporation. Through the heat energy from the sun, water on top of the ocean and lakes and rivers gets really warm and turns into vapor. This vapor then leaves the ocean and goes up into the atmosphere, or in other words, the sky. And what do you think happens next? The water didn't disappear, but its new forms in the sky as clouds. All of the water vapor forms together in the sky, and when the clouds get really heavy or condense, these form the kind of clouds you see when a storm is coming. These clouds move all over the world so that everywhere can get water. What do storm clouds look like? They're dark and low and very big. What happens when you see storm clouds? So when these clouds get very heavy, the water falls. And what do we call this? That's right. Water that falls from the sky is called rain. What if it's really cold outside? Then the water is frozen and we call that snow. The rain and snow that trickles back into the oceans, rivers, and lakes is called precipitation. So then all of the water comes down from the sky, it goes back in the oceans, and the whole process starts all over again. Not all of the water in the world goes through the water cycle at one time. The water needs to take turns to go through the cycle. So the water that is not going through the cycle is stored on the earth. The biggest storage for water is the ocean. Water is also stored in lakes, ponds, glaciers, and under the ground, which is called groundwater. The water cycle is important because it moves water to where it needs to be and produces rain, which helps feed all the plants and creatures on the earth. Thank you so much for listening, you guys. I hope you learned a lot, and I can't wait to see and talk about everything we did learn.